Greetings, most honorable listeners and masters of the martial arts. I am Travis.
And I'm Big Los.
And this is CTE, and this is going to be an experience for you. And if this is your first time listening to us, or watching us, we are sponsored by the Virtual Fight Tour. And coming up September 23rd, they just announced a fight between Thomas Wright and Trey Lazenby. So make sure you get your tickets at vft.myuventex.com and watch that fight. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But so right now, let's move on to September 25th at the King of New York. Make sure you guys go ahead and get registered over at myuventex.com to make sure you get your see if you can be the King of New York. And also on October 15th, make sure you guys don't miss VFT USA versus Europe on October 15th at Bristol Open. I'm still debating if I'm actually gonna go out there because
you're gonna have to go.
I really do want to go.
I'm sure you can make a workcation out of it. I'm sure you can make.
1000%. I'll be in London for the first few days and then saunder on over there to Bristol. But I've really been thinking about that. I got to figure out if I'm gonna do it or not. We'll see. Yes, but sure. Los, man, how are you? How is everything? How's the Achilles, brother?
I am good. The Achilles is still what it is. I have my MRI today, so I'll go meet with the doctor tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow, if not the next day. I had a staff member that called out, so I got to cover for her in the morning. But so I meet with them, and they'll kind of tell me what steps we're going to take on if I need to have surgery or if I'm going to go ahead and let it heal itself. It's not sore. It's a little swollen right now, probably because I wasn't able to just kind of sit my butt down. And, obviously this weekend there was a lot of movement, a lot of stuff that we had to do. So, yeah. So
you had some libations to numb the pain just in case. If anything, throw a couple back.
But no. So it's been good though. It's been a good week. We're in our last week of summer camp, man, which is good. But we go right into the other part, which is our after school and our other stuff. So we're just kind of still busy, but slowing down a little bit. How about you, Mr. Director? How was your week?
Oh man, my week has been in the lab. Like these few months, man, I've just been honestly just trying to grow this platform, putting different things in place. Just so everybody knows, the Patreon is available now. We do have 3 different new episodes up there. We have one that it's called Aliens Probed Angel.
Aliens Probed Angel.
He was talking about being abducted, driving back.
And no one said pause.
Hey, look, man, there's a lot of stuff that happened in that episode, bro. Because we are completely uncut, unfiltered. We just are let things fly, man. So there's that one. Let me make sure I pull up everything that's going on in the Patreon that we got.
But how do you guys get to Angel? I guess I have to go on this.
You got to go and watch it, man. Like, yeah,
these are live. These are all live, like live videos. It's not like a podcast or audio. It's just actual live, like
live videos on Patreon. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and put the link here real quick so people can go ahead and put it in the comments real quick. Put that there, and then I'm going to put it across the banner. Yeah, so our Patreon is live. You guys can go ahead and subscribe to it. It's not a lot. If you can't afford it, then you're broke. You're broke. What was that pastor say? You broke, busted, and disgusted. Yeah, man. Yeah. So the Patreon is up and running. What's up, Jeff? Yep, can't wait. It's up there. I'll read that in a minute. Hold on. What's up, fellas? Advice to both fighters on the Virtual Fight Tour: stretch. Don't do any squats and sprints instead of distance running. The mats in the cage sink a little and will affect your legs. So Brian, who fought Jerry Fontanez in there, so he's telling y'all some tricks of the trade for you guys who are going to be
competing. Ready? Don't feel like a regular ring.
It's not. It is not. We're going to get to all of that in a minute. But make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to the Patreon because there's a lot of stuff on there. Another one is a real heated debate of who's more dominant, Amanda Nunes or Chuck Liddell. that just went off the rails. I'm telling you right now that conversation was all over the place. I don't even know how we even ended up there, but
Amanda Nunes and Chuck
Liddell, who was more dominant, who was a more dominant fighter or a dominant champion in the UFC. So
you have two different eras.
And
you have two different species, or not species, but
species.
Fighting. You have two different
genders.
Genders, yeah. Like, I'm sorry.
Call them species.
But in general, you have two different genders. Like, you mean like it's going to be a little different as far as just the number of people and just the number of fights that you actually have the opportunity to have. I can only imagine how that went.
Yeah, it was off the rails, man. And then the last one is our Uncut Amir Kick review, where we lay into a couple people about their performances and praise other people about their performances. So we were
going to listen to see who you actually was talking about. You didn't praise.
We didn't praise a lot of people. It was just, it was a lot of people that we were very candid about what we thought about their performance there last weekend.
It's just their performance of that event,
and if we think they are regressing or if we think some people are progressing. But we weren't that kind. So what you guys heard on our other podcast last week, we were just kind of being nice, but it's a little bit different over there on Patreon. Since it's behind the paywall, we can say whatever we want and leave it at that. So make sure you guys go ahead and support. Because
say whatever y'all want.
Oh, we can say whatever the hell we want.
Right.
We was cussing up a storm. We was.
Remember the first time I did a show with y'all? I just could not stop.
Hey,
oh my!
Over there,
Patreon
land, you can cuss up a storm, Los, and I can play as much music as I want. Nobody can stop me. I can do whatever the hell I want over there.
What's up?
But so make sure you guys go ahead and support, sign up, subscribe. It is live. We will be putting out content, a lot of content. Oh, we didn't even do music. Oh, I'm gonna do some real quick music because this song gripped the airways this weekend. Wow, the internet. Yes. It's not even plugged in. Oh well, I ain't got time for this. All right, I ain't got time for you trying to figure this thing out, man. My internet went out and it just started acting up. All right, it just is what it is. I changed that. Whatever. Yeah, I don't even hear it. Okay. Anyway, so let's get to what a lot of people want to talk about is your weekend and what happened down there in Orlando, Florida at Karate Combat 35. How was the experience? Was it your first time going to Karate Combat?
It was my first time going to Karate Combat. Yes, sir.
All right. So how was the experience of being there live in around the pit, as they call it?
Honestly, Trav, I was pretty impressed, man. I was impressed with how just the whole setup and everything, right? I mean, obviously we got there probably like 2 or 3 fights into the show. We got there probably like right before the main event started. Partly because it took me a little while to get there.
Where were you? I was trying to see where you were sitting. I couldn't see where you were sitting. Everybody else I saw.
Yeah, I literally was sitting in the front row because I didn't want to walk up the steps. And I could see over everybody, right? So ideally, it was okay for me because they had to be up there because they couldn't really see over people. I could see over people. So I literally was like in the front row. Like the dude that was about to fight Raymond, he came down and he went the wrong way. And I literally like directed him, which like, you got to go that way. Like you can see my arm. That's my arm right there telling him, yo, you're going the wrong way. You that nervous? Like, you're going to go the wrong way. Like the ring is that way.
Clearly he was that nervous. We're going to get to that. He was nervous. But Jesus. Like, dang, man.
But it was cool though, man. It was definitely like the fans in the arena was about the combat and the fighting in the arena, which is really, really cool. It's kind of like, I've been to some Bellator events, I've been to some UFC events, so it's kind of like that same type of energy. Like, like people are really fans of this Karate Combat platform, and it was really cool to see. The pit was pretty dope. The way that the room was set up was really cool. It almost was like, I felt like I was like in the Ninja Turtle, like the Ninja Turtle like sewer dungeon, but like with all the graffiti and just everything, like it just was like it was like a real
It was
cool
a
vibe.
different. It had a different feeling than
Yeah,
being in a arena where it's just just the lights are in one area, but this one had its own character with the little backdrop and everything.
yeah, it had everything. It was honestly like that. I was impressed by that because I remember when I first started watching it, I was kind of like, like you mean as a fan, and like you mean, but if they keep it how they have it right down there, and if they can do that in other places and stuff, the setup and stuff is really really cool. But I guess if you're at Universal, you have the access to be able to set up
Yes,
stage and everything how you would like it, right? So that was cool. You had a lot of MMA celebrities that were there that I was
I
surprised.
did see that. Yeah,
Like, I don't say I was surprised, but it was cool to see. Like, I was like, oh wow, okay. So
from what
that's how you know like it's a legit thing. Like, I mean, when you have these other, cross market people or cross promotion people that are kind of showing up to the event, yeah, you knew it was something that's a higher platform.
so
Than
what
what
Chris was talking about last week, I was asking like, yo, why is so many people? Why do they keep having it in Orlando? Like everybody, like Glory and Bellator, and now Karate Combat, they keep doing things in Orlando. And he was like, well, there's so many gyms down there. There's so many schools and
yeah,
fighting. It's like that community down there in Orlando will support it very
yeah,
much. So it's just a smart thing to keep going back there and keep getting the and they're doing it a smart way because they're building their fan base. They're not trying to jump right out and just try and like they could have tried to pay-per-view this thing, but they did it for free. It's on their website, it's on YouTube, they did it on Facebook. They're building their brand and the fighters so you can actually watch them and actually build their audience, and they're doing it the right way.
I think me being a fighter in the World Combat League, and then seeing this, I think that the way that they're going about this is going to probably have a more longevity than
Yes,
will happen with the World Combat League, right?
right.
The World Combat League was trying to go to like these big arenas and trying to and it was like they're not really they're going to have people in the audience, but they're really pushing it for the people that are at home watching. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's a great setup as far as that goes, because when you see like when you're in the arena, like, and you think about when you saw it on TV, it's like even that much cooler because you're literally like can see like the light, everything and how it's all set up is pretty cool. I liked it. I would go again if one of our fighters are fighting, obviously. Um,
It's
but
possible. I think they already announced they're doing October 21st, 22nd, 27th, something like that.
who won
Yep.
there? Black
No,
Rock?
they announced. I don't. They haven't said who's
Okay,
fighting,
okay.
but yeah. Because I was wondering, because I was under the impression that Dean was supposed to be fighting this weekend too.
Okay.
But I guess something happened. They never said what happened. Maybe they couldn't get a fight. Maybe they scrapped him for Ray. I have no idea what they did. But whatever the case may be, they decided to have Dean didn't fight unless because they said two people fought. I watched the whole thing, so I actually
You see
watched
the real
it.
K Swift?
Yeah, I did see. Yeah.
The real K Swift was in the building. Where you at, Kevin Walker? The real K Swift was in the building.
I saw a lot of people there, sir. But no, I watched a lot of them. They did say it was something. There, see, there he is. There you go. Swift, get out of him, Swift. Yeah. What? Yeah, that's right. He was there, but not that other guy. I ain't talking about the other one. But no, as I was watching it, I was just sitting there, just like, okay, they're doing a lot of things great, and I was trying to figure out, like, they said two people have fought on short notice, and they were in the welterweight division. So yeah, exactly. He was there. Yes, K Swift was.
He was there. He was there. The real K Swift was there.
Yeah. So I was sitting there. So I was, but as I watched it, I was just kind of like, I will not say I was disappointed I wasn't there, but funny thing is, it was me and my dad watched it, right? So I had told my dad I was watching it on my laptop, and I was like, "Yo, Dad, what you do watching?" So he was like, "Nothing." I was like, "All right." So I switched it into to the TV in the room. So me and him were sitting there watching it, and being the person who got everybody in my family into karate, he was kind of like, "Oh, okay, all right, let's." He said, "Oh, this is." He started going straight back to the 70s. Oh, this is like full contact. Yeah, he said, "This is like full contact karate." Yeah, yeah. So I told him, I said, "Yeah, Dad. Raymond's gonna fight." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I've heard of him. I've seen him fight. He's done this, that. He's done real well in sport karate. So he knew about him. And I said Ross, and he was like, "Oh, I know Ross." And he's like, "I said, yeah, he's a champion over here now." So da da da. And he's like, "Oh, okay." So we were sitting there just kind of watching it for a little bit. But the first couple fights were kind of boring, and he lost my dad. He got up and walked. He got up and walked off. I was like, "Yeah, yeah." But then they had these. They had one fight. Oh yeah, I think I wrote that one down. It was a really good fight. They were just swinging at each other. Yeah, the Lopez versus Stankunis. I don't know. I don't know his name, but Lopez versus Stankunis. That was actually a good fight. They were throwing like it was just yeah, that was crazy. That was a wild fight. But one of the things I noticed was I saw Wonder Boy was involved in. I saw GSP was there. I saw Bass Rutten was there. I saw they said Machida was there. I saw him.
Yep.
They showed him. Uh,
And his dad too.
yeah, his dad too. But yeah, no, that fight was crazy. Like that was a really good fight, and I was just like, yo, they're throwing right now. Uh, but um, I just kind of sat back and really watched how they were doing it, and I was like, okay, this has some legs. One of these days I'm gonna have to go.
Hold on. I think one of the UFC big heavyweight fighters was there too. I forget his name though.
Uriah.
No, not Uriah. He was a heavyweight. Like he's like one
Oh,
of I think it was two brothers. And I think he was one of the brothers that was there. Maybe someone out here pop up and know who it is. But he was there. We saw him on the way out. People were taking pictures and stuff. So, but go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I don't know. I don't remember what I was talking about. But anyway, I was just I enjoyed the actual show a little bit. I want to see some more character development. You know, they got to figure out a way. Like with individual sports, you got to have characters for everything to grow. So they need personalities. They need some style. I don't like the force. I don't like you. I don't like you. I'm going to beat you. Like that force thing that boxers do, that UFC people do. That when it's genuine that I don't like you, then it comes off authentic, and sometimes it just comes off fake. So I saw a couple promotions that
So
they were doing.
how are you going to create that if there's no real animosity between people? Like, you mean, like
That's the problem that
you
that
got some people that won't even respond to that. Like you mean like I'll take someone like Ray. He won't get into the whole bickering back and forth. He'll be like, okay, I'll see you when we get there. Like you mean, and like
Yeah, but Ray is such a personality. Just his entrance of walking down to the ring, he's dancing, he's talking, he's flamboyant. His personality just covered. He doesn't have to
yeah,
do
I get what you're saying.
that portion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people who don't have that type of personality, they try and do the "I'm gonna destroy you," and I'm like, and it's just like you don't. Y'all barely even talk, man. You know, it's
I'm gonna
nothing.
die tonight. Ray.
Yeah. Yo, whoever says those things, usually the person who looks like they're the softest person in the world because they they never are all out going. They always getting first time they get hit, they backing up and running all over. It's like, dog, so yeah, you're not tough.
I'm
Just
ready
stop.
to die in this ring tonight.
Yeah, it's not part of it. But let's get to the main event that a lot of people want to hear us talk about. Raymond Daniels made his debut inside of karate camp combat. What'd you think of it? What were your thoughts throughout the weekend? Because I know you probably interacted with him before the fight, after the fight.
We talked a little bit. He got down there like on Tuesday, so it was really more like he was going through all the stuff. He had to do pre-fight stuff, and then like we didn't even see him pretty much all day on Saturday until we got to the actual arena. Um, so that was like we kind of texted a little bit here and there on certain things, but just make sure we had our tickets, knowing where to park and things like that. But other than that, we didn't really see him until until the fight, obviously until after the fight. But my thoughts on it was again, I thought it was really well done. It's an actual true professional event. Like you know what I mean, like they got their shuttles, they're shuttling the fighters, like they're doing all the stuff on that high end and that high level, which is really cool to see. The arena, like I said, the arena was really cool. As far as Ray, I thought Ray did a great job having not have fought in almost a year and a half, right? I think it was his last Bellator fight. It was probably like a year and a half or so ago. So not
April of
having
2021.
say again.
April of 2021.
April of 2021. Yeah. So I mean, almost a year and 4 months, 5 months, whatever.
Mhm.
So and And then, going through, regular life stuff, moving from Cali, moving to Texas, having a baby and all that type of stuff, like a lot of things that happened in that time. So to see him kind of get the call and then start getting himself ready, I thought that was good for him to just get back out there. And I think it's only going to get better from this point. There were some things that obviously I'm always going to be like, oh, you should have this, should have that, should have that. But again, I'm not in the ring. So I may see stuff that he's just not seeing or he doesn't feel is the right time or opportunity. But as a whole, I thought he did really well. The guy was okay. The guy was all right. You could tell he didn't want to be out there at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
not at all.
Yeah, like he came down the thing, like he's coming down, like so we thought we were on the side with Raymond, where Raymond's gonna come out. So that's why we were all on that side. And then they called him out. He went out from the other side. So we were like, oh. So then the dude comes out and like, Chris is there, Kevin is there, like everybody that's there for Raymond comes out. He's coming out like trying to high five people, and they're all kind of looking at him like, no, we're not with you. Like you're on the wrong side. So I think he was just confused because he came down the steps and he was supposed to make like a left to go down the little platform to get to the ring. He literally came all the way down to like where I was standing. I was kind of on the bottom step towards the to the arena or the pit there. I was like, dude, like you're going the wrong way. Like you got to go that way. Like you, oh yeah, you don't even know you're trying to go the exit already. You can't even exit yet. You got to actually go do the fight.
Mm-hmm.
So so as a whole, I mean, you could tell like when he got out there, it was like a deer in headlights. Like it was kind of like one of those old man. I'm actually here now. Somebody closed the back door. I mean, I can't get out of this. So no. What were your thoughts?
It was not an impressive victory. He won the fight because the dude, dude just ran. All right, let's be realistic. Dude ran. Anytime Ray came close to throwing anything, so you couldn't really gauge.
Yeah,
Ray.
And I think again, this is where I say like with Raymond being off, even his timing, his spacing, because he's fought people that have run from him before. You get what I'm saying? And he knows how to make the adjustments to get into them. So I think that was a lot of that was happening as well, was that he was just like the guy who keeps running. And then I'm seeing that every time Ray does try to come in, the guy is just really just trying to counter him, hoping that he can get a lucky punch off. Like, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, But again, again, Ray won. I was happy to see him back out there, but I wasn't like, oh my God, Ray like totally dominated. He dominated him because the guy wasn't even close to doing anything.
Wasn't he? Barely even tried to throw fights. Like they showed the stats for that. I think he threw like 9 techniques or something
Really?
like that. It was something very low, like 2 kicks and 7 punches. It was ridiculous. And I was just like, But the other thing I was sitting there thinking, I was like, I know Ray wants to highlight, but he used to set up the highlights. And he came out, he was trying to get the highlights right off the way. I was like, you got to make this guy feel calm and get
I'm gonna tell you, as I consider myself big brother, he called me big bro. Like, what are you doing?
Okay.
I'm like, Ray, listen, your fundamentals, just your basic fundamentals, is a highlight in this arena. Like the fundamental basic skill that you actually have is a highlight.
Yes.
Because just your speed, your covering distance, all those type of things, like it's just a highlight. Like he honestly, bro, he almost really ended himself.
Yes.
On one of the things, right? He hit his head on the thing, and like, I didn't see it till after, right? Because we had
I saw it because when he got up, he was holding the back of his neck. And that's when I was like, what just happened here?
So that's all we saw in the arena, because the way the pit was, you couldn't really see like what happened. Yeah. So but when we went back and saw, me and Kobe was watching the video, and we saw it, and like literally his head went right into the actual side of that wall. Mm-hmm. Like he could have ended himself with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just like that comes back to like he's trying to live in that what people are so expecting from him.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's like, that's fine. That's all going to come. But this is the first time you've been back in the arena in almost a year and a half. I keep saying about a year, 4 months, however you want to call it. That's a long time to be back, to get back into it.
And to have life happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's one thing for you to be, constantly working and whatever the case may be. But when life is happening and you had a
literal like reset of life.
Yes.
In that transmission time. Like you like I said, you moved, you had a baby. Like, all these things are happening, right? You're trying to, he's opening up a school. Like there's a lot that's happening.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
Excuse me. She should be in bed, people. She should be in bed. But anyway, yeah. So I felt it was he should just let his fundamentals be his highlight, and it would have been a highlight. Like,
Yeah.
you know I mean?
Well, the same thing is, I think if he had came out and was standing there and got the guy comfortable, the guy would have stood there a little bit longer than because now he's just running. He knows you trying to hit him with everything out. He's not letting you come close. He's running up out of he's running up out of there, and you throwing stuff at odd angles because it's like different. So, like for me, that was the point that was frustrating for me just watching, because I'm like, dog, you're clearly better than this guy.
Yeah.
Pick him apart and then finish him towards the end of the round or the middle of the second round, not necessarily trying to get him out in the first 30 seconds. Like, get him comfortable, set him up, make him feel like he has a shot, and then you just take him out. Like, I thought that was the biggest mistake, and that's what I worried about.
I think in hindsight, he knows that now. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And, so again, that's where he has to go back. I know that they've already watched the video. He's already watching the video, saying some things that he could have done better. But like you said, if he'd have let the guy get a little more comfortable, because all the guy was doing was just trying to keep space. Like, I just need to stay as far away from him as I possibly can. You know what I mean? So like anytime Ray would engage, he would automatically disengage by like 5 feet.
Yep. And I mean, it wasn't even like he backed up a little. This brother was gone. He was out of there. I was like, yo, whoa. Okay.
Ray was like, Los, there was one time I started to go at him, and he just started going up because he was on the wall going up. I was like, what the heck?
Like, no, it's just right like, now. Yeah, he's got like, what is this? Like, I don't get this. Like, no, you gotta set the guy up, gotta get him. But that's why I was like, okay, it's hard to gauge Ray in this moment, because I was kind of like, well, he doesn't really have an opponent because the guy's running so much and he's completely fearful. He just wants to, survive. He just wants to make it there. He's like, yeah. He's clapping like, he didn't knock me out.
I didn't get none of that.
Yeah, I'm not on no highlight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no. That's all I cared about. He had so much fear.
I got
it was
my
like
check,
crazy.
and I'm good.
Yeah, so that's how I was I was like,
other dudes that don't do all this.
Yeah, so that was my. So it was hard for me to kind of gauge where Ray is in his, his combat career at this point. So I just kind of was like, because
honestly,
in our sport, in combat sport, like, I'm not even saying anything, because to me, it's like it happens. It just happens. You're here, and the next day, it's like it's gone. It's like, so you never know when it's happening, and so that's why I'm just kind of like, all right, where are we at right now? Like, because honestly, to me, I don't. He could do what he wants. I don't know why he's still fighting. His name is solidified. I don't understand where he's going. I guess he just wants another title and then walk away, maybe, hopefully. I don't know.
I mean, it's a couple dollars in it too.
Okay, all right. I don't know if I'm like, I don't understand why.
Let's not pretend that the real deal is fighting for free. Like, there's a couple.
No, I'm not saying that.
Like, so, I mean, he could make a couple dollars and continue to set himself up and his family up further down the road. I think that's some of why he's still doing it. You get what I'm saying? He believes that the karate platform is a full circle. The karate combat is a full circle of, everything that he has done, from sport karate to all the full contact MMA, everything else, to coming back and finish his career in the karate combat space. I think that's some of what he's kind of trying to cement as well. You get what I'm saying? Because I mean, who do we know that, I guess in our time, because that's the only time it's really been around, that has done all of those avenues: sport karate, MMA. You get what I'm saying? Kickboxing, MMA, and not just like on big promotions, big things. So you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't think there's many people that. So I think that's kind of what I believe is, and I can't put in words in his mouth, but I believe his reasoning why. Because as you said, dollar makes the dollars and
I mean, I would assume it's the money. I'm not going to assume but at the same time, I'm like, with his name, I figured he could parlay it into something else. And his personality and his name, I just figure he could put it into somewhere else. But
yeah,
it is what it is. So,
and I think again, as we look at, it's been however long, we know that as we get older, that gap in time does affect it. Like, you know what I mean?
right.
He doesn't. You think of, he was in California where you had a lot of bodies, a lot of people that he can pull from, right?
Yeah.
He's not in that space anymore either. So now he's in a different space. So that different space, he's not able to pull from these people. You get what I'm saying? That he had out in California the way that he had. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think he'll be fine. For however many fights he wants to do in karate combat. But I mean, that's just me, I guess, being biased. But
I mean, I'm not. That's what I think he's going to be fine. I haven't seen anybody that's going to be.
He may not always be what we're used to seeing, but again, I mean,
well, that's my point. Like, I'm looking at it from saying
42.
He's 42.
So like, yeah. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm like. I don't understand, but I'm not gonna see my black ass out there. Like, nope, I'm good. Yeah. I'm good.
I thought it was really cool, man. Again, being a fan sport, it was cool to sit. I was in the audience, bro. I was signing autographs.
What?
Yeah. Why you say what?
Wait. What's that? No, why were you signing autographs?
They thought I was famous. I'm a big dude with a boot. He got to be somebody. he's got to be a fighter.
Oh yeah, Carlos Tierney. Yeah, I am. I'm on CTE. I'm on the Martial Arts Center Network now. Like, yeah, I'm doing podcasts. That's what I'm doing. That's how you know me.
I'm sitting there, people coming up talking to me and stuff like that. So the other people are like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? And so I was like, so that I signed an autograph. So, but it was cool because I was sitting next to a couple of kids, and this one kid was like, he was kind of going through his fights and who he thought was going to win this fight and that fight. You could tell like he was like a real fan of the sport. And he's like, what? I can see myself out there. I can see I'm going to be out there someday. Me and this other kid that was standing with him, he's like, we're going to be out there. I know we're going to be out there. I can't wait. And I'm sitting listening like, that's what it's supposed to be about.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Like, this dude is in the karate school. He's just starting out. Like, he might be like a purple belt or whatever. And he's seeing this like, this, I can do this. He was Kikoshikin, or how do you call him? How do you say it? Koshinkai, or whatever they call the traditional guys.
No idea what you're talking about.
The traditional WKF type fighters.
Okay, those people.
Yeah. So anyway, somebody go correct me on it. I think it's like Kikoshin or whatever, Kikoshikai or something.
I don't know, man.
Those style of fighters, but that's the style of fighter that he sees as his karate background. That this is where his karate background can take him. Right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't like he's looking at somebody in Bellator like, "Ooh, I'm going to go in Bellator and do that," because that's not what he does. You get what I'm saying? So it was really cool just to have that conversation with him. Yeah, Kikoshi.
Yeah, you still messing it up.
Yeah, you say it. You say it.
Yeah. Kaioken. All right.
Kaioken.
That's what it is.
Kyokushin.
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 Yeah.
There we go. Kyokushin.
There we go.
But as a whole, it was just cool. Like, you mean, like to hear, like, and just listen to him talk. Like, he was really passionate about the opportunity to be able to get out there and be a part of it. So it was like, wow, that's partly one of my beefs with our sport and sport martial arts, honestly, because I think a lot of people are put on the same platform as the black belts or professionals. The kids are. They're put up there at the same time. So if you've been at the U.S. Open on TV, ESPN 4, 5, 6 times, why stick around when you're in your 18, 19, 20 years old? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you've already done it. It basically feels the same exact thing. You just got one title as an adult. Oh, I'm out. I'm going to go do stunts. I'm going to go do Bellator. I'm going to do Glory. I'm going to do whatever I need to do because I already feel like I've already done that. You know, when people tell me like, oh, I won the U.S. Open, I was like, oh, when'd you win the U.S. Open? I'm like, when'd you win the U.S. Open? Oh, I won when I was the 14, 15 back in 2014. I'm like, wait, when? Like, you was a kid? You get out. Like, okay. Yeah, all right, man. Like, you won it. Okay. What? But yeah, they going out right now, yo. Hadouken, Kamehameha, yeah, special beam cannon, all that. But no. So for me, but yeah, that's kind of what the thing. What we should be having something a goal for our people to
Yeah.
go to. So I like to hear that. Now, real quick, Los, we talked about this pre-show, so I'm going to share it now. Your response to this?
Ross and I go way back. Obviously, a win over. That's why I wanted to fight Franklin. First and foremost, is just he has been a title challenger, and I want to show everybody. In order to be, or what my goal is to be the GOAT, greatest of all time, put God over all things. You have to be great fighters. I think he's a great fighter. He's obviously fought for the Karate Combat title. So my goal here was to fight at middleweight because of short time frame that I had to get ready for this fight. That being said, Ross and I have competed enough against each other. I believe in sport karate. We come from the same background. So my goal is to see him be successful in what he does in his ventures in life, not necessarily to be his direct competition. My natural weight class is at 165. So I look forward to, obviously, my man is competing not defending his title, but doing a super fight this weekend. So as he's the champion, I want to get my feet wet. I want to get some experience here in the Karate Combat ring. So I'm looking to be as active as possible. I know sometimes when you are a champion or as champion, you're not able to fight as often as you would like. So let me get my feet wet here at Karate Combat. Again, Ross, you're my man. I don't really have any aspirations for your title. However, Ross, if they put the dollars and cents, we fought for free back in the day. You know what I mean? If they put the dollars and cents, we can make something happen. I'm just saying, no pressure.
So people were asking right away. The moment he said he was fighting him middleweight, people were asking like, why is he fighting middleweight? They trying to set up him versus Ross already. I'm like,
nah,
I don't know.
I mean, he said it clearly right there. Like, I mean, he usually, it was a short notice, right? So he usually fights at a certain weight. But again, I mean, the dollars, if the money's right, like he said, they fought for free. They fought for $1,000, and then they killed each other.
Yeah,
they try to kill each other. This dude tried to knock my boy off the stage. They tried to kill each other.
Cut eyes, all kind of stuff. It was.
They both had their money going into this, and they're gonna be good. But I don't think that's not. I don't think that's the space that Ray is looking to be in. I genuinely believe that he wants Ross to be super successful within Karate Combat and to have a long reign within what he's doing, and for them both to be able to do it. And we were talking about it earlier. I think that if they push those two to fight, who do they have after that?
They have one. I don't think he signed yet, but they have one fight that could be probably their biggest fight if they did it.
The biggest fight of I know what you're talking about. But where would he go though?
It'd have to be welterweight.
165?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not Ross. Not Ross.
I already know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, for the people who don't know, I'm talking about Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Yeah, I already knew who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a rematch.
That's the fight I want.
That's a rematch that's supposed to been happen since WCL, right?
Yes, so, exactly. So as this goes back to 2007 or whatever year that was, 2007, 2008. That's the fight I want to see.
Yeah, but what I was saying was if they have Ray and Ross at a collision, of course, those two being their biggest, I personally believe their biggest draws, right? Because we are always going to go and support them, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it's watching it or actually being in the arena. Obviously, when you throw Stephen Wonderboy Thompson there, that's a whole nother group of people that's coming to support and watch him as well.
Right. And he's in South Carolina.
So that is, what's in South Carolina?
Wonderboy. So he has a huge.
Yeah. So I agree with that. But even that will have to be built. Like, you mean, like that's where they got to have one on one side, one on the other side, and it's just kind of coming into this. That's something I can see that would definitely have a lot of viewers and have it be what you want it to be. But I don't think that in the early stage of what they're trying to do right now, I don't think they should be trying to get Ross.
I don't think they should be doing that right now. Well, I'm just saying that's, to me, that's their But here's the thing. I think time is not on their side.
For all three.
For all of them.
Yeah.
I don't think time is on their side. So I think a max of 2 to 3 years. But if they can get these guys to fight, get a couple, people out there that they can make some highlights off of and build the anticipation of those two going back, because there's a history
Mm-hmm.
of I think that would be it. I think that would be the route to go. Not necessarily Ross versus Raymond, although that's a large fight. I look at the Raymond versus Wonder
I
Boy
can see
fight.
if someone just put MVP. I can see MVP jumping in with Ross, and that
I can
being
see that. I can see MVP being in this.
so that like those four.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if you get those four, you
Bruh.
got a league here. Like that draws.
You got at least 2, maybe 3 years.
Yes,
you got 2, maybe 3 years to pull that off.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly. But if they got all four of those,
MVP in that bracket with Ross, and you have Steven and Ray, and then at some point you do like a super fight.
Just all of that. Like you got, but any combination of those four: Ross versus Wonder Boy, Ray versus MVP, MVP versus Wonder Boy, Ross versus Raymond. Any one of those four groups, I mean, that matchup draws eyes and makes people want to watch it. Right? That's something there. Richard asked a question. I want to get this in here. Do you think Karate Combat can last a while? Free viewing and high production value. They are dumping some money into it, but not what like we just talked about at the beginning. They're not throwing as much money as WCL was, as Glory was, by getting these large arenas, right? So they got the backlot and they keep doing it. So I'm assuming they're getting a good deal on that Universal Studios, because it's an area that Universal Studios is, I'm not gonna say losing money on, but there's not like an attraction there that you can come back and constantly see something. So therefore, they have to monetize that. So they will get a good deal if they keep, and if they packed it out, it looked like it was packed in there, like they had enough people in there. You have enough celebrities, martial artists there. I think they can, but it goes back to what we said. This could be the early days of UFC where you had Liddell and what's my name, Tito, and all these other guys. It wasn't a lot of money getting thrown around, but the fights and the quality of the competitors and the stories that you can have, that all of these people, right, plays a part. One of the fights that they had this weekend was with the heavyweights, the big boys. That was interesting.
Yeah, that was good. I was sitting there like, ooh, this is
right. That was an interesting thing, because they said, oh, he beat him. He hasn't lost since then. And I'm like, huh.
He came out smoking. He like beat
he made sure to like this dude he's not on my level. He said he's gonna get tired, and I'm gonna lay him out. And when he gets tired, I'm gonna let him tire himself out. And after the first round, dude was gassed.
Yeah.
And so there's a story to be told there. Now I'm going to pay attention to this particular division and want to see all these different competitors and stuff like that.
Yeah, because honestly, bro, when I was walking, I'm like, there's a whole bunch of little people, little fighters. They got something. Like, you mean, there's a whole bunch of, like, there was one dude, his name was Massimo, whatever his name was, and one of the girls like, that's Mamusimo. I was like, oh, cool. Who was that? It's like, he just fought. He's the champion. That I was like, oh, cool. That's all right. But
he was low dude. Yeah, the one who won, who barely won.
Okay, so I didn't see that fight. I didn't know.
You didn't see the last fight.
Oh, I saw the last fight, not that guy. I saw that fight.
Okay.
Yeah. He should not have won. I barely won. He should not have won at all.
Oh my God! I was thinking they were gonna stop it.
We just stopped that Ray's fight. I did watch that last fight. Me and Hugh did stay and watch that last fight. We both was like, oh, that's wrong. Like, he not win that fight.
He won 3 rounds to 2, but the last 2 rounds, one of them should have been a 10-8. I'm just saying one of those rounds should have been a 10-8, because he kept getting knocked down. He got knocked down like 3 times in a row and was getting pounded on. And because it was at the end of the round, the ref tried to help them out, basically. Didn't count him out, but he basically was out on his feet. I mean, just.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, that shouldn't win that way. But, if you're going to beat the champ, you got to beat the champ.
He said Justin Charmaine, the president of Hungarian, who's a billionaire and a silver medal. Yeah, even though they billionaires, but they don't just give money away.
Yeah, they're gonna figure. Yeah, honestly, like, there's definitely some money behind it, though. Like, you mean?
Yeah, no, it's definitely some money behind it. It's just they don't give that.
They have 35 shows already, so it's like, like for them to have 35 shows, I don't even think the World Combat League had that many shows.
No, they didn't. But that's the thing. So the thing is, they've been doing this for, I think they said like 2016 or 2015, something around there. But in that time frame, they started out small.
2015.
Yeah, something like that. 2015 or
7 years.
2016. Yeah. So they've been around for a minute, and they've been building up toward all of this.
So they weren't coming to the U.S. for a while, right? They just started coming to the U.S. Okay.
Right. They were overseas, and they were just, and they were like, in those places that they were fighting didn't look like nice places. And then all of a sudden they went to New York, and they quickly realized
we're not doing it.
Probably spending too much. Probably spending too much money here. Let's go down to Orlando. We get a better deal here. And let's go ahead. Exactly. Like, yeah, we're not. No.
We got the best government in the US.
Right. So we don't have to pay yeah. So it's probably a lot more friendly down there as a place opposed to doing certain things. But no, I do think it's going to last for a while. As long as I think they're doing something very smart, which is getting the open market involved. The sport martial arts crew, us getting them, like they went after Ross, they went after Raymond. Like it wasn't like they sat back and just these guys can't. No, they went and got them. So
part of what helped their relationship with getting Raymond too is Raymond's relationship with GSP. Right?
Yes,
that I think that was, and then Boss Rutan has always spoke highly of Raymond as well, right? So I think having those two probably saying, listen, you guys need to go get this guy. You get what I'm saying? And then Ross having his come up through glory and all the other things that he was doing is one of those same things. Like, you know what? You need to go get this guy.
You need to go get this guy as well. Yeah.
So
they're being smart. They're looking at it and saying, okay, let me go talk to this person. Let me go grab this person. Let me go, instead of just we've got the format now. Yeah. We've got the idea. I mean, the look of how we want to do this. We got our website and we got our people promoting stuff, our Instagram and everything. So they're doing it the correct way. It's just going to take time. It's not going to jump overnight. But I think in the next few years goes back to something I said a couple months ago. I was like, is this going to be the professional version of what we're going to when people leave from sport martial arts to go to this? Is that going to be the thing? Because let's be realistic, our sport is amateuristic. It's just what it is. But is this going to be a professional version? It could be. We'll see. We may end up getting more and more people going over there and competing. We'll see. But this
has got to be the right people, though.
Oh, well, of course. Well, look, sometimes I see people who are weak in our sport go over and start doing kickboxing and doing different things like that. And they're actually better at that because they just can't handle what we did. Like they just, like we thought they were scrubs in ours. We're killing these people. But then next, they on some circuit doing kickboxing. I'm like, oh, all right, well, maybe that fits you better because you really couldn't handle what we were doing over here. So this is what it is. So,
but even in karate combat, it's not really like kickboxing. Like,
yeah, it's not. It's not.
I think they're going to be careful not to pull kickboxers in because I don't think they want that kickboxer look. You know what I'm saying? They want the karate style look. So now, it's that more of a hard, continuous super fights, what they're supposed to be with actual continuous knockouts, things like that. I love that when a person got in the ground, they had their countdown 3, 2, 1.
Trying to find a way to get around it, like yeah.
Ray did a little Spider-Man thing where he went around the damn thing to try to hit the dude.
It could, Richard. It could. He asked, so can it extend the life of point fighting itself as a combat sport? Possibly. I mean, fighting for $1,000. I mean, let's be realistic. That's not even people's mortgages or rent, and it just is what it is. So at this point, if the money's not there, that's where people are going to eventually go to, and if they can't sustain themselves. So yeah, no, it could, but you never know. Depends on how long it sticks around. So. But we'll see. All right. I think I had one other thing to talk about. Oh, yes, we got to talk about this. Jesse. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, before we got here, we got to talk about this.
You pull it up?
Yeah, I can see if I can find it real quick, man. Be nervous about putting some stuff in there. But yeah, so they made the announcement. I've heard a while ago that they were thinking about doing this, that they were going to do this, and Thomas wanted to get in shape first before they made the announcement about when he was ready to fight. So Jesse, he made the fight. So September 23rd, it's going to be Thomas Wright versus Trey Lazenby, which has been brewing because we had a whole conversation about this months ago that happened after what happened at the tournament. So I found it. It's a grudge match. Let me pull this up real quick. Let me see if I can share this. Stop sharing that one. Start sharing this one. Oops, no, that's the wrong thing I clicked. Were you shocked when you saw it?
Not really shocked because I knew it was something that we had already kind of hinted on, or not hinted on, but talked about. Yeah, I want to see what it's going to be now.
Coming up, Thomas Wright, Trey Lazenby. Sitting at home one weekend, and I remember you calling me, saying that Thomas wanted to fight me. And for me, it came out of totally left field. But when I was in front of his face, he wasn't saying nothing.
Man, that's pretty funny.
So I guess when he went home, it stewed on him a little bit. It set on him a little bit, and it kind of challenged him as a man because I kind of embarrassed him. Went up to his hometown, kicked a lot of his folks' butt. Probably would have won the tournament if he wasn't hating on me. These guys got a lot of bad blood.
I mean, the bottom line is it boils down to respect. And, it's been a long time since I fought. But, 20 years ago when I was competing, we didn't behave that way. I was wild and did dumb stuff. But always had respect for judges, always had respect for the sport that we compete in. And clearly you just don't have that. I don't like you. I don't think there's any surprise about that. And, we're going to handle this stuff in the ring, man.
I'm sorry, but that's funny to me. He just flat out like, I don't like you.
I don't like you. So that is crazy.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? This is real dislike, not the made up. I'm gonna beat you up. Yeah. No, they really don't like each other. It's just...
Respect, it's not given as earned. Sorry. So for a center judge to behave the way you were behaving at a tournament, I ain't gonna embarrass you and put your business out in public, but everybody know that you wasn't in your right mind at that tournament.
Yeah, you're wrong, man. You're wrong.
I ain't the only one that know you was drunk, and it's not like a secret. A lot of people know this, man.
Yes.
Everybody know how you and Marty get down.
Ooh.
I guess you're saying that because I didn't call your points. I mean, and that's what you're saying.
Are they live with us to each other?
Because,
yes.
You got beat. I mean, you got beat. You lost. There was no drinking going on at that tournament. I respect the sport way too much. You got beat. You're mad. It's always somebody else's fault when you get beat. That's all I got to say.
He beat Zach Winder, but I ain't Zach Winder. I ain't Zach Winder. I'm a whole different beast.
Wait, how did Zach get taken? Zach is out here working out, doing his personal training, and all of a sudden he catches straight.
Yeah, like wait a minute, like how did that? Like this must have been like one of those like ESPN cuts. Go to the right, like you bring those in. There had to be some content for that though. Like how do you just come up like that's one of the things that you would do, Travis. Like you would mess some people's words up. Having stuff like that, all out of content, just like they do on ESPN. That'd be you all day.
I'm just saying, man, that's just random. He just called it straight for no reason. Zach just out here just working out, just
and ain't no groin kicking and ain't no sweeping, so no gimmicks.
You're right. You're not Zach Winder. Zach Winder's a hell of a fighter. He's got a lot of talent, and you far from him, Bram. You far from him.
I ain't got no little man syndrome. I'm very comfortable.
Are you?
All right, man. Y'all heard it. On VFT grudge match, Thomas Wright, Trey Lazenby. Stay tuned.
Like, yo,
wow,
that was great. Like this, just the
that was perfect.
Fact that he sat there. I look. We talked about this.
I don't like you.
Yeah, he just I don't like you.
You blame everybody else but yourself. You lost. I respect the sport too much. You just lost. Yeah.
Well, look, everybody know you was drunk. You know how you and Marty get down. Like, Jesus. I ain't Zach Winder. Like, yo.
Wow.
But yeah, so that's happening, people. That is happening September 23rd. Make sure you get the tickets. I just want to watch this. I was just like, yo, this is just nuts. Like, I was just like, all right, okay. Yeah, this is. What are the odds that this match finishes?
Finishes like what? Like somebody get knocked out or somebody just running again?
A whole like this, right? A whole lot of late hitting going to be in that fight. I mean, you got your hands full on this match. All right, you're gonna have to be. You're gonna have to have some big boys. Los, you might have to get out there and judge and like breaking them up.
Nah, Anthony and Akin and Troy can handle that. I'll be watching.
No, it's usually Keith. It's usually
Keith. Yeah, Keith can handle that. Keith used to break it on the big boys down there. So yeah, Keith can handle that.
Yeah. So it's gonna
be a little man disease. Is Thomas Wright small? Is he a little? Is he not a big?
Well, he used to be a lightweight. I don't know what he fight. I mean, it's been 20 years, so I have no idea what his physique is now. But back in the day, yeah, he was a lightweight fighter.
Is this gonna look lopsided just in general because of how big Trey is gonna be compared to how big he may be? Like, is Trey a lot taller than him too, or is it just Trey just bigger?
Trey just bigger.
Okay.
I don't think the height discrepancy is that large. I think Thomas might be 5'7",
okay,
maybe. And Trey is just large. Like he's like about 6 feet, 5'11", somewhere around there. But he's a big dude. Yeah. So, but yeah, look, but it's 3 rounds.
Yeah.
So Trey can't be getting tired, and then Thomas be teeing off on him late in the rounds. Yeah, because both of them have been known to throw late shots. So, yeah, that's gonna be.
You said with the boot.
Yeah, with the boot. But yeah, they gonna be throwing some.
Get back.
That gear is gonna be flying. Yeah, they don't like each other. That's real dislikes. But yeah, make sure y'all go in here because I can't wait for that fight. I wonder if he's gonna throw a couple more fights on there just to fill out the fight card. Since people didn't put up, and so they just shut up. So
these putting up and shutting up, or at least they're getting out there.
Yeah, these two putting up. Yeah, they not shutting up, and I don't think they're gonna shut up either after. Just be honest with you, I don't think they're gonna shut up afterwards. So, yeah. But man, all right, man. I thought this was gonna be a quick show, and we almost went an hour.
Look at that. Los was able to help you carry this show on the road.
Yeah. We had a really good show.
Because everybody know Chris Walkers is traveling back from Orlando. He's caught up with some traffic, some travel stuff, so that's why he couldn't jump on. That's why I gave a little pause for his little moment.
Hey, we on Sundays we have meetings and like we work on some stuff that's going to happen for the network on Sundays, right? Mm-hmm. And Chris said he couldn't join because he was driving back
on Sunday.
Uh-huh. All right, so
I was in the air coming back on Sunday, so I couldn't jump on.
Look, man, I have no idea, so I don't know. Y'all, have fun. All right, man. We will see y'all. Make sure once again, the Patreon is live. Make sure if y'all want to hear about Angel getting probed by aliens, if y'all want to. If y'all want to hear about if the large discussion about Amanda Nunes being more dominant than Chuck Liddell and whoever else,
I wonder who brought that topic up. Like, I would go just to see like who.
It started off because we were talking about Dana White's top 5 UFC fighters, and people were throwing that in there, and then it just went from there, man. Like it went off the rails at some point. So it just did. I don't know what to tell you. But make sure y'all go ahead. The link's at the top of the page. Make sure a lot at the top of the comment section. Dang,
drop it in right now again, just in case somebody make it as far as it.
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna drop it there again. Make sure y'all go ahead and listen to it, man. Go ahead and we were talking about Rory McDonald. Yeah, we were talking about that. You were talking about that too. We were talking about a lot of stuff on that, man. Just go. It was all over the place. It was great. And then of course our uncut Amir kick review is up. We discussed who looked good, who did not look good, and we were very candid about who looked good and who did not look good. Yeah, so that's all I can tell you about that. All right, people, we are going to be out of here. We will see y'all next week. Make sure y'all go ahead and listen to Fish Kicks and Flicks coming out tomorrow. Wednesday. On Thursday, on Wednesday night, Inside Scoop. Jeff, who y'all have this week? I remember. I know you told me, but I don't want to mess it up because I don't want to say the wrong person. But yeah, they have the guests coming on Wednesday night. 9 p.m. So make sure you guys go ahead and support that as well. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and get out of here. Yes, Maggie Cole Messina. Female fighters matter too. So we will be getting into that. So that's what they have coming up on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. So thank you guys for listening to us. Thank you guys for going ahead and doing that. And thank you right now for going ahead and subscribing to the Patreon. I'm thanking y'all right now. Exactly. So we can actually do our own events. All right. We will talk to y'all next week. See y'all later, people.
Peace.